Now hiring for skilled service technicians and skilled equipment operators.
For close to 30 years, S&R has been satisfying customers with their car needs. With over 100 vehicles in stock, S&R's got what you need. Want a muscle car? We've got it at S&R. Need a truck or SUV? Then S&R's the place to be. Located at 417 South Post Road, just off Dixon Boulevard in Shelby. S&R is a close drive from anywhere. Come see Richie, Ricky, Ken, and Susie at S&R for your next car.
If you're in the market for new flooring, go to this area's most recommended flooring store. That's Flooring America on Slater Street in Kings Mountain. Flooring America in Kings Mountain is where friends send friends for their flooring needs. And right now, you'll find the ever-popular luxury vinyl plank for only $2.99 a square foot. That's right, only $2.99 a square foot. All during the Fresh Start Flooring Sale. Give your home a refresh with one stop at Flooring America, 602 Slater Street in Kings Mountain, online at flooringamericakingsmountain.com. It's time to join the family.
We are family.
Join the Chevy family at Carter Chevrolet in Shelby. Coming out for special offers. Get $4,000 customer cash on a new 2021 Chevrolet Equinox. Get $2,750 customer cash on the new 2021 Chevrolet Blazer. And get $2,250 customer cash on the new 2021 Chevrolet Trailblazer. Come on in for all the details and join the family, the Chevy family, at Carter Chevrolet, 200 West Dixon Boulevard in Shelby. Online at carterchevyofshelby.com.
Only do things incredible can, cause I am the seed of a chosen breed. You don't see too many like me, cause I am one of the reasons you do what you do when you wanna be me instead of you, cause I am still on beat, showing love to the streets. Come on, you know me, cause that's who I am.
And good evening, everybody. Y'all didn't want to hear that button, did you? I'm sure that shocked people. Shannon, somebody wrecked out there. We're sorry if y'all did. But good afternoon, everybody. Happy Friday. It's Football Friday in the spring. As the season moves on, it warms up. Just
the daffodils are blooming.
The
pigskins are being kicked.
of what's normally goes on. But we've got a fun night ahead of us, guys. We've got a big weekend ahead of us on KTC. We're going to talk about that and more. The Yetis have been released in Cleveland County. Watch out, Nobby. Coming from straight out of college. These are educated Yetis coming out of the college and they've got a game tomorrow. We're going to talk about that. Patrick Henry up at Forest City at Owl Stadium. We're going to have a good time up there. We've got 4 games on the radio tonight. We've got 5 correspondents out at the games at Twitter. So we're going to have a total of 9 games with highlights tonight, Dennis. Wow. 9 games tonight. We should have highlights from 9 games in one night. We should be busy
maybe
on the Red Zone show
video
tonight.
Of important plays, right?
We should be getting touchdowns and other things. You know, if Shannon goes to the game and decides to streak, we hope our Steve Degree catches
No, we don't either. He ain't gonna catch that. I guarantee you.
Oh, wait a minute.
Steve's supposed to be now. Steve's going to be there for the Cleveland County games. I mean the Shelby games. So if Shannon gets a little excited,
correspondent for KTC.
Yeah. And let's go down the list of what we got tonight, Dennis. We got games all across the area. Let me give you tonight's KTC lineup, and then you guys can give the other games in the area. We've had a few changes. One's tomorrow, one is Tuesday. But tonight on KTC, the schedule goes as follows. This show you're listening and watching on YouTube. Hello, friends. And listening on the radio, ktcbroadcasting.com. Witherspoon Insurance pregame show. Dennis Davis is here. Shannon Allen. I'm Kevin Hastings. At 6 o'clock, on Cherryville, WCSL, they'll be having Pine Lake Prep and Cherryville Ironman pregame show. They may be on a little bit early, maybe 5:45. I got to check with Calvin on that. 6:30 kickoff, though. Cherryville, that conference this year, the Southern Piedmont 182 is a 6:30 kickoff. So Tim Johnson and Danny Aker will be out at that. Caleb Johnson, Tim's son, will be doing the videos and the touchdowns for us tonight there. For Burns Bulldogs and Chase, we just talked to Brent Pasco. He's headed down the road listening to us. I hope we didn't cause him to swerve with that noise. He's got a game to get to. Him and Tom Sinofani will be up at Chase, and they'll be joined by Matt Royster on Twitter. And then these games are all 6:30 pregame shows. This will be our show will end and go directly in on the radio to the pregame shows at 6:30. Then kickoffs at 7. East Rutherford Cavaliers at Polk County Wolverines will be Paul Foster and Jonathan Bland. Tanner Halbert, our intern from Cleveland Community College. Now tomorrow, Tanner gets the chance for his first time to do some color commentating on the baseball Yetis. He's earned his stripes in the studios. He played baseball at Crest, and so he's going to help me out.
I thought
tomorrow this weekend.
That name.
There's a lot of Halberts up there. He's got a couple of brothers that play.
He's got about 4 brothers, I think. They all played. Well, I think 3 of them played at Crest, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
And so he's going to help us tomorrow on that, and we may have some different announcers throughout the year, but this weekend we're going to talk about that in just a second. East Rutherford Cavaliers at Polk County tonight, though. Paul Foster, Jonathan Bland, and Tanner Halbert with the coverage. East Lincoln Mustangs at the Lincoln on Wolves. Matt Chapman and Logan Baker. Matt and Logan's going to get the touchdowns for us on their own tonight, so they're going to be double duty tonight. Logan and Matt, I talked to them the other night, joined them on the Wednesday sports show over on WLON, had a good time with them. My job or my thought, Dennis, was just to aggravate everybody.
Oh, so
Not
what's
you.
new?
That's just
Not you.
I was
Come
just
on
like,
now.
you know what? So I had a little something for all of them, and by the end of the show, we had fired Roy, fired Coach K. We had Tebow's the greatest athlete ever, and so that just shows you where it went.
Is he going to Jacksonville with his old coach, maybe as an assistant or something?
He needs to be the quarterback.
Ooh.
No, the H-back, something. No, I'm just
H-back.
messing.
Tight end.
All right, so folks, from 7 to 9, of course, we don't have live video this year. We've had plenty of folks email us, Facebook us, tweet us, and ask us if we're going to have games this year. Why not? And no, the best answer is the schools are doing their own to make up for ticket sales that they're not going to have this year. And so we've been pushed out of that business, I guess, by the decree of the governor down.
There's always next year, Kevin.
And then we maybe in the fall. But what we've decided to do, like every other outlet and publication has done for the past 15 years, is go to the games, take pictures, take videos, report on scores, and then while they're doing that, Dennis and I and Andre, we're going to be giving out scores live on our YouTube page, so folks that are home, that aren't going out, can check in with us for live scores during the games.
Yeah, you can't
and
be
see what's going on.
everywhere, so
Right.
tune in here, and we'll cover it everywhere for you and let you know what's going on.
So Dennis, we got 4 games audios that we can switch through tonight, so you don't have to listen to too much of Andre and myself. But we will be providing scores live during the games, folks, on YouTube, on KTC Broadcasting YouTube page. So if you go to YouTube, go to KTC Broadcasting, whether it's on your app or whatever, pull it up on your big screen.
And the good
And watch
news
us.
about that, Kevin, you don't have to wait till 11:30 at night to find out who won.
No, we're doing it
We'll
live.
We'll update you right here, and even our post-game show, which will be about 9:30 to 11:30.
We're going to try 9:30, 11:30 and see how that
more
goes.
depth and a little more, what's going on and who won, and we'll cover some of those teams that you didn't hear on the radio as well.
Right. So like I said, we've got correspondents and announcers at 9 games tonight that we'll have reports from after the games. Dennis, let's go over the rest of the schedule and who's playing tonight and where for the folks out there. You and Shannon can kind of go over that, I guess.
Shannon, you want to kick it off there?
Well, where are we here?
Let's start with the Southwest 2A there.
The plain sheet with just words on it and yellow markers. The yellow markers are our broadcast games. Again, Pine Lake Prep at Cherville on WCSL, Burns at Chase, WHS, East Lincoln at Lincoln on WLON, and East Rutherford at Polk County on WAGY.
Okay, so the other games in that Southwestern 2A, besides the ones Kevin mentioned, is Shelby's going to be traveling up to Spindale to play RS Central tonight, and then South Point is traveling down to Mount Holly, which I think is going to be a huge game because both of them lost 1 game.
Yeah.
And so that's going to be a big as far as what's going to happen later on. So South Point goes down to East Gaston, and that's the teams in the Southwestern 2A. If you go to the Big South, then you want to do the Big South, or
Oh, either way,
Go
here.
ahead.
I'll go ahead. We've got Ashbrook and Forest View. That's going to be Saturday at Stuart Kramer.
Right.
This COVID and weather and everything, we've got some changes around. But Ashbrook and Forest View is Saturday at Stuart Kramer. And another one that's changed, Kings Mountain playing North Gaston. That was on again, off again because of COVID. It's now going to be played Tuesday. And we can't cover the game, Kevin, because Kings Mountain doesn't let any outside coverage.
Well, that one's at North Gaston, right?
Yes.
No, they have moved it.
Had they moved it to North Gaston?
They moved
to
it,
Kings
I
Mountain?
think,
Okay,
to Kings
that's fine.
Mountain because of the COVID situation
Okay.
or the weather. For some reason, Kings Mountain's
sure
got that
accurate.
nice turf over there, Shannon.
Right.
So that's going to be, I think, they agreed upon to play at Kings Mountain. Crest at Stuart Kramer tonight, and Hunter Huss is taking the night off. Shannon, how about the South Fork 2A?
All right, the South Fork 2A, as Kevin mentioned a while ago, East Lincoln will be at Lincolnton. That's on WLON. And then Lake Norman Charter will be at North Lincoln, and West Lincoln Rebels will be traveling to Maiden, and Bandies will be at Newton Conover.
Okay. Southern Piedmont 1A. We tune in your radio right here. We've got Pine Lake Rep at Cherryville, and then Union Academy and Bessemer City. That's going to be an interesting game. Highland Tech and Thomas Jefferson. Is that on, Kevin?
I do not know.
Because, Highland Tech
Right.
was a little iffy on the COVID thing.
I'll
so
check, though.
we'll see if that's going to be played. Bishop McGinnis at Community School of Davidson, and Christ the King at Mountain Island Charter. That's going to be an interesting game, too, I think, Shannon. We'll talk more about that later.
That'd be a good game. And then in the Northwestern Foothills 2A, Fred T. Ford will be going to Bunker Hill. Drone will be at Patton for Burke County rivalry. Then East Burke will be traveling to West Iredale, and West Caldwell will be going to High Brighton.
All right. In the Northwest 3A, 4A combination, Hickory, who got beat last week by McDowell for the first time in many years at Hickory,
Crazy.
will be playing at Freedom. Then St. Stephen's is playing at McDowell, and South Caldwell at Statesville, and Alexander Central at Watauga. Now, that McDowell game, I understand the coach up there, he's in about his second year. And the good thing about McDowell is they had the kids that turned out and showed up.
Mm-hmm.
And we've talked about that, Kevin's idea of what's equal schools, compare who they've got on the roster. Here's a case where McDowell's roster increased, and we saw him beating Hickory in Hickory last week.
Hickory, yeah.
So, Kevin,
Yeah.
I guess that lends some credibility to your thoughts.
I'll
there.
pat myself on the back at least once a day. Go ahead.
all
Are
right.
you done with are y'all done with that?
We're done with
Okay.
all those
I
schools.
was working on our dinner order tonight, sponsored by Fats Cafe in
That was
Shelby.
some good stuff
And
last week, man.
we're working on that with the guys over there, Nate and the gang over there. So I'm trying to decide what I'm going to do. I'm going to try to talk it enough till Shannon over there decides he's going to want something here in a minute.
Shannon, I highly recommend it. And for you folks out there, a good place to drop by after the game, since the games are getting over a little bit early. Run on by Fats and get you a nice late night treat there.
Yep.
Late night steak.
Yeah, oh yeah, ribs. Oh, those
Well,
good ribs.
that's what Dennis had last week. I'm looking at either a club or there was something else I just had.
I couldn't make up my mind, Kevin. So I'm going with
A
that
chop
that
steak.
combo thing.
Yep.
You get chicken,
Yeah,
ribs.
Dennis
and
just said he wanted it all. He got the ultimate combo, or was it ultimate sampler is what it's called.
it's the one thing about working here. It's the ultimate job, so you need the ultimate combo.
There you go.
There you go.
Well, folks, our Twitter's out there, out and about tonight. That will be at our games with not video, but they'll be doing. I mean, not radio, but these guys will be getting touchdowns and tweeting out the scores from the games. Shelby at RS Central. That'll be Steve Degree. Of course, Kings Mountain's not playing tonight. JP was out there, so we don't have 9 games. We got 8 games because that game's got moved. JP's going to come in the house and help out. I don't know. Well, he's going to come in the house. Lake Norman Charter is no longer playing North Lincoln. That is West Meck. I forgot to make
Meck,
that
okay.
mark on that. West Meck is at North Lincoln tonight, and Jason Sane is going to be up at North Lincoln with the Knights. I got to change that on the board too. West Lincoln at Maiden tonight is going to be Peyton Warlick. So Peyton's going to be up there. He's a Gardner-Webb graduate, also a Bandy's Trojan. And he's going to be up at Maiden tonight taking care of the West Lincoln Maiden scores. And then Brian Nichols is going to be out at Bessemer City tonight for Union Academy. Hope Bessemer can get on the board and get their first win. Now, you talked numbers earlier. How about the Bessemer 16 on the team?
16.
That's how many they dressed last week, yeah.
How
16 to 20, I think, is what it is.
Don't you have to put 11 on the field?
Well, that's supposed to be the math, Dennis. So I don't know.
Hope nobody gets hurt.
I didn't know if anybody was playing
It's not-
six-man football.
I'm just going to go ahead and warn you, they're not going to be at the top of the polls this year, probably with the lower numbers. Just you know what I mean. So just warning you guys before Will calls from Raleigh talking smack. I'm just letting you know. Might not be too many dubs with the 16 people. So that's tonight. Brian Nichols at Bessemer City, Peyton Warlick, West Lincoln at Maiden. Jason Sane, is Calvin in that room in there? No. Jason Sane's got West Meck at North Lincoln. Steve DeGree's got Shelby at our Central. Also, Logan Baker will be tweeting scores at Lincoln and the East Lincoln game. Tanner Halbert, East Rutherford, Polk County. Burns and Chase, Matt Royster's going to be out there taking care of that. And Tim Johnson and Danny Aker of Caleb will be out there tweeting. Sorry, Tim and Danny will be on the radio for Cherville. So tonight, this ball got... Dennis, Shannon, real quick, we're going to take a break in a minute, but did you guys, any big surprises from last week? Any thoughts from last week's games real quick before we head into the break? I know we cover that on the postgame show a lot, but, Shannon doesn't get his say during the week, but I kind of wanted to hear what he had to say about some of that.
Actually, there's...
you missed your Mountain Island pick, by the way.
I know. And also, I missed this one, too.
But not by much. Not by much.
Dennis mentioned a while ago talking about McDowell beating Hickory. And then out of that Northwestern 3A, 4A, you had Alexander Central also lost last week as well. When you look at these two teams on paper, they look like, they can run with anybody. And for them to lose, especially Hickory to lose McDowell, normally that doesn't make sense. And especially with just going in recent past, the struggles McDowell's had, and then but Hickory is you would think, they still have athletes they could win, but that was a shock to me. And then Alexander Central, I want to say they're the Chapel Hill to me of high school football. They have so much expectations, and then when it starts, and they fall completely apart.
I have a good friend who's a graduate of McDowell High School, and he calls me virtually every night. He didn't call me last Friday night because obviously it was, late getting home. He called me first thing Saturday morning, woke me up. He said, "Well, how'd it go?" I said, "Roger, you won't believe it. McDowell beat Hickory at Hickory." And he was like, "What? I can't believe it." Yeah. And he's a McDowell guy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So something that's never heard. I'm glad they won. That's great for that program and also building into the fall for them. But, things like that. This is what this season is going to bring. And this is why I mentioned earlier with the South Point East Gaston game. Traditionally, this game, I think it's Black Friday or whatever it's called down there in Gaston. I think it's Black Friday or something like that. And traditionally, South Point would roll.
Yeah.
But, this is a whole different year, obviously, for many reasons. And just what East Gaston did last week, they're not good on, they don't have that great of a defense, but they've got some weapons on offense that they're going to test some people. Because at the Shelby game, they were down 20, it was 20 to 0 at halftime. And Shelby got one of their scores on a interception where East Gaston was in the red zone. So they were driving. You're talking about going from a potential one-score lead by Shelby going into the half. Now you're down 3. And so it was just, East Gaston, that game's going to be very interesting, especially South Point coming off a heartbreak, tough defeat against Burns, tough loss against them. And so, with this playoff system the way it is now, this is going to be it's like week 2. Week 2 is going to be the interesting week because you can make or break your season tonight.
Yeah, and people that won last week, and we go, "Oh, yeah, they're great. They're coming back."
Right.
May fall flat on their face this week.
Fall completely
the
apart.
one thing I would say about East Gaston, I'm not sure they have the athletes in the roster yet.
Yeah.
But there hasn't really been any good coaching at East Gaston since Greg Lloyd was down there.
You're right.
And so they've got some quality in the staff. That means the kids are going to be interested in coming out and participating, whereas, I hate to say it, but nobody wants to play for a loser.
Yeah.
And when you get to winning, suddenly you get that guy that was working at, Bilo's. Hey, I think I want to play football this year instead. Right. So that's going to be some changes. How does this week 2 match up with what the performance was of some of these schools in week 1? On the other hand, you might have seen some teams like South Point, who lost a narrow game. And let's give South Point and the coaching staff credit. They went for it.
Yeah.
They went for the win.
Yeah.
Now, that's a gamble. And when you gamble, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. Right. And to their credit, they played for the win.
Yeah.
And they were the home team, but they didn't get in due to the efforts of Burns playing great defense.
Yeah, Cameron Sweezy, I heard he led Burns last week and had an outstanding ball game, and it was a total team effort. Yeah. Total team effort for Burns. Congratulations to them.
Now, does that carry over for Burns tonight against their former coach, Cogdell, and the Chase Trojans, who are revived and doing well? Well, we got to take a break here, Kevin. I'll turn it over to you, and
we're going to
pay some bills.
We're going to come right back. We're going to break down all those games, make our picks in just a few moments. Pine Lake Prep at Cherryville, Burns at Chase, East Lincoln at Lincoln, and East Rutherford at Polk County tonight on KTCBroadcasting.com.
Since 1986, Witherspoon Insurance Agency in Shelby has been serving families across Shelby and Cleveland County. And today, Wayne Witherspoon continues the tradition of bringing you the best insurance at the best possible price. With names like the Hartford, Safeco, Progressive, National General, and Travelers. Drop by the office today at 125 North Lafayette Street in Shelby and talk with one of their friendly hometown agents. Witherspoon Insurance Agency, your independent insurance agency since 1986.
Home Folks Cafe is a family business that's celebrating 50 years. The best breakfast in town. Sausage, bacon, eggs, grits, and rice with gravy. Lunch, how about a cheeseburger? Dinner specials during the week. Wednesdays, spaghetti and chicken livers. Thursdays, they rotate meatloaf with salmon patties. Fridays is everybody's special. Prime rib, their world-famous fried chicken. And top that off with a slice of their homemade cakes. Home Folks Cafe is open Tuesday through Friday, 5 a.m. till 8 p.m. Saturdays, 5 a.m. until 1 p.m. 209 East Main Street, Cherryville. Call 704-435-9336. Check their menu out on Facebook at Home Folks.
Celebrating lives and healing grieving hearts. That's the theme of the Stamey Tysinger Funeral Home and Cremation Center in Falston and the Stamey Cherryville Funeral Home on Dixie Street in Cherryville. Their staff is committed to providing your family with the highest quality care and service in your time of need. For more information, visit the websites at StameyTysingerFuneralHome.com and StameyCherryvilleFuneralHome.com, both giving you the gift of comfort for you and your family.
From Shelby, turn off Highway 74 at Highway 226, up Highway 226 to the caution light at Zion Church Road. There on the corner is Kibo's. Been there for over 20 years. Kibo's, where you'll find Hunt Brothers Pizza, snacks, candy, chips, also soft drinks, hand-dipped and packaged ice cream, bread, tobacco products, and much more. Yes, that's Kibo's. And don't forget to fill that vehicle up with gasoline at Kibo's 226 North at the caution light in Shelby.
When it comes to a coyote, it's time to check out West End Sales in Vail, North and South Carolina's #1 dealer. Head to West End Sales in Vail for your coyote today. Check it out. It's time for you to get ahead of the pack and get a new coyote from West End Sales in Vail. Ask about their 6-year unlimited hour warranty and a free loader with qualifying tractors. That's West End Sales, located at 110 North Highway 18 in Vail. Give your home a new look for spring and summer with a stop at Baird's Floor Covering in Kings Mountain. Right now, take 15% off all carpet and vinyl remnants. Hey, that's not all. Baird's Floor Covering in Kings Mountain has additional selection of select vinyl and carpet remnants at 50% off the mark price. And they carry wide width vinyl and carpet. And they do rug binding too. That's Baird's Floor Covering, 150 Dixon School Road in Kings Mountain. See their page at whatsupshopper.com and like them on Facebook too.
You know, we always tell our kids that there's no such thing as a money tree. But did you know at Friendship Nissan in Forest City, we kind of do have a money tree? Our money tree gives a $500 better price on any new Nissan, and that's a $500 guarantee that we put in writing. We have no haggle clear choice pricing, the region's only non-commissioned sales force, and we have the only lifetime warranty with no time or mileage limits. So you see, at Friendship Nissan, we kind of do have a money tree, and we're located in Forest City.
Welcome back to tonight's broadcast. This is the Witherspoon Insurance pregame show from 120. Well, we're not there, but Witherspoon Insurance Agency, 125 North Lafayette Street, Shelby, North Carolina, 704-480-9595. You folks see it there on the screen. Give them a call today. Contact them on Facebook. You can even go to their website and contact them there to get your quotes and all your information that you need. Serving Cleveland County since 1986. Guys, I really don't want to get too in depth with these. I just like pointing them out because, they're always, these are just opinions and what people got. But the ncpreps.com week 2 power polls came out in the 1A local teams. Mountain Island was 8th, Thomas Jefferson 12, Polk County at 17 in the 1A. In the 2A, they got Shelby at 1, Burns 2, High Brighton 4, Shelby 1, Reedsville 2, Burns 3, High Brighton 4, Salisbury 5 in the top 5 of that. South Point at 16, Chase at 19 for our local teams. In the 3A, Havelock 1, Charlotte Catholic 2, Kings Mountain 6, Crest 7 are our local teams in that. And then we have nobody around here in the 4A. So any thoughts on those, Shannon? As far as the rankings go, I know they mean nothing, but, just opinions, how people do. But anybody that's been slighted yet, do you think, on that?
No, I think when Brent was here before we went on the air, we were talking about Chase and Burns. I think at Chase, tonight you're going to find out what type of team they have. Is this the Chase of old? Or is this going to be a new continuing from last year to this year?
No, last year they lost 3 games last year.
Yeah.
Burns, Shelby, and then the playoff game.
Right.
And that was it. So they're in that line.
Yeah.
Where are they good enough to do it? Now tonight, does it not seem like this might be the night with one? You got a couple of things. You got Cogdell there.
Right.
Okay. Is this not the best year, maybe per se, if the talent's there to do the upset, because you immediately just left? You immediately kind of know everything about it. You know the kids, you know the offense, you know the defense, you know almost everything.
Yeah.
I'm sure they made some changes and adjust, Coach Devine and everything. But is with no Kewan, and I'm not saying Kewan can be held in check, North Lincoln did it, but what he was if that game's 10-10, 10-10, 10-10 all night, boom, now it's 17-10.
But
and
Kevin,
what he made a difference.
his
So
game
can
changed.
Chase do
I'm
that?
going to make this, and Shannon, you follow up on it and correct me if I'm wrong. Burns is better balanced overall this year than they were with prior.
Yeah.
Because it was a one-man show.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yes and no. Don't forget, Cameron Sweezy went off in that game against North Lincoln. He kind of put his shoulders on. I don't think they were expecting him to be as big and fast as Cameron actually is, and you don't realize it till you see him in person. And you're right, Dennis. A lot of times, it's not that he was a one-man show. It's that if you got Barry Sanders on your team, kind of gave him the ball.
But I mean, what I'm saying is
it was a good show though, wasn't
the
it?
focus was on one
Right.
man.
Yeah.
Whereas now,
And North Lincoln did a good job. I do want to
you
commend
got
them
to
on that.
spread it around a little bit.
Oh, and Burns will. They've got, and from last year, we always said, Kewan was the show, but Burns had a great group of, I want to say maybe they were sophomores last year that everybody's saying, wait till they get older, or wait till they get in high school. They may have been freshmen last football season. I can't remember. So they've got some talent coming up, and we mentioned, as Brent mentioned a while ago, Lamont Wilson. They got Alfonso Goodson. They got a kid named, I think, Trey Young. These guys are Burns has weapons that people don't really know about yet because of Kewan and how good he was.
And I'll add this: their JV team won last night.
Oh, spanked them, yeah.
And led by
that was big.
Ben Mooney and some.
Yeah.
They've got some pretty good players in the pipeline, if you will.
Absolutely.
So Burns, Coach Devine has built a program, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
And so, if there's injuries, say like Cameron gets hurt or something, they can move a JV guy in that will take some time. That's how you continue to maintain success, like we were talking about. It's not one game.
Yeah.
it's a season.
Mm-hmm.
And how do you do in those other games as well? Okay, you had one big win. That does not a season make. When you have several wins, now you're moving forward with your program and establishing something for those kids that were thinking, I don't know if I want to go out for football.
Right.
And they suddenly say, yeah, I want to be part of that winning group, that winning attitude that we've got going. And I think that's what you're seeing at Burns.
Oh, yeah. Winning breeds confidence for sure, but it also it will multiply your team. Those kids do want to come out and play. They want to be a part of that. So
last year's game was 41-6. Bulldogs with the win. They lost to Shelby 55-20. So those are their two losses. Followed that up with a 61-19 at against East Gaston, 55-30. East Rutherford 41-28. Remember they beat South Point last year too.
Mm-hmm.
They beat R Central 42-21, drawn in the playoffs. Lost to Brevard 48-21. So their three losses last year to Brevard. Big scores last night against everybody. They put 40 on about everybody except their losses. They put 40 on everybody, every win except Bessemer City to start the season. They won that game 28-10. So yeah, I think they're close, but we'll see.
Talking about Chase here, right? Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
But what I'm asking tonight, we're about to make our picks. Is Cogdon this year, this difference schematically, is that going to make a difference to bring them close enough to get to maybe? Are you going to pick them this year? What do you guys think, Dennis? You got who do you got this year? And if you want to do scores, that's fine. I'm going to write them down next week so I can.
Okay. Well,
see how bad we were.
This is one of those, like you said, there's so many factors. If I look at it on paper with Cogdon coming over there and what he's done, plus based on the success that Chase had last year, I think this is a different Chase this year than even it was last year. But I've got to go with Burns as being more consistent. Burns has higher expectations than Chase does. And they need this game more than Chase does. If Chase can mess around and play well, it's a win. If they can mess around and somehow break the streak, Shannon, and beat Shelby, it's a season. It doesn't care if they lost everything else. Yeah. So I think the pressure and the expectations are more on Burns, but I think you mentioned Cameron is quarterbacking them. And with Coach Devine guiding them, I think they will have a victory tonight.
Score?
Ooh. 28-13, Burns.
It's funny you did that, Dennis. I'll tell you why in a minute. Go ahead, Shannon.
We're just looking at we talk about Burns and their quarterback Cameron Sweezy. Chase also has a quarterback back from last year in Caden Hampton, and so both of them are led by senior quarterbacks who have been there. They've tasted success. They know what it takes to get to where they're at. But again, they have to have help around them. And we mentioned a while ago, the Goodson kid, Lamont Wilson. There's Ryan Thompson for Burns. Like I said, these kids were there last year, but they were shadowed, or they were in Kiwan's shadow, and for good reasons.
They're hungry.
They are. So it's like now it's going to be my turn. And so I think, and what Cogdell's doing, Cameron Wilkins is their running back at Chase, and so you've got, and he's a senior. So Chase has kids back that were there last year, but where Burns is going to make the difference is they've got more horses in the stable, if you will. And Burns is going to have more athletes, and they're going to be able to spread it out. And we have, and you mentioned a while ago, Kevin, or somebody did the Miller kid from Chase, the big receiver they got. Is he going to be enough? Chase has to have somebody to complement him. Can it be this Wilkins kid at running back? I don't know, but I think Burns is just going to have they're going to be more quicker to the ball. I think Chase will have it difficult getting around there. So I think Burns will go up there tonight, and I think they'll come out with the win. And it won't be easy. It'll be a tough game, but Dennis, I'm with you. I'm going to say 30. I think it's going to be closer. I'm going to say about 35-24. I think they'll both put up points, but I think Burns will come away with the win.
Burns has been pretty stingy against most teams defensively. If it's a touchdown on offense and defense for just coach going over and no key one, if just on that, based on last year's score, it'll be 34-13. Yeah. Before we started, I wrote down 31-20 before before I started going through that. And so I'll just stick with 31-20, see how we go. So we all got Bulldogs tonight.
Now, I like Burns.
on
I
that.
didn't mean to interrupt you, Ken, but I like Burns if it's a close game because you look at the North Lincoln game last year, it was close. And they were in the Shelby game in the playoffs. They played Shelby a tough game in the playoffs. And then last week, you go to Belmont. That's not an easy task to do, COVID or no COVID. And you go down there and you can walk away with a win. That says a lot about this Burns team.
Oh, we always joke and say you're 7 to 14 points behind when you get off the bus at South Point.
Yeah.
And for them to come into a situation, make that up, have it come down to a pressure moment, and be able defensively to make a stop.
Yeah.
That's why I think Burns could beat Chase, is because, hate to say it, but their defense.
Yeah, they've got it. Yeah, exactly. I agree with that.
Hey, don't be surprised if Cogdell and the Trojans upset. I want to say some of the guys that scored last week against Cherville. Caden Hampton made it 22-2. I'm rolling down through our KTC scores last week. A lot of them will come across the board. It just depends if my tweet deck puts them in the right order, whether I can get to them all. That's the thing, is going through all that, because we have a lot of scores came through this week. Let me pull up ours just to make sure. KTC broadcast, folks. If you want to follow online, we're getting the Twitters across at What's Up Shopper. That's our sponsor for the Twitters, and at KTC Broadcasting. So you can go across either of those and find the scores from last week. Like I said, Brian Nichols will be out at Bessemer this week. Here we go. I'm pulling up on the Cherville ones. Now I can pull these up here and kind of show Shannon for the folks watching online what we'll be doing in the Red Zone Radio channel. So we don't want to talk to Pedro. He's our biggest fan on KTC, Yetis baseball. He makes a lot of comments on the shows. But I'm scrolling down through some of the touchdowns. Those are some from Bessemer City. This is that What's Up Shopper one. I was trying to find the Cherville Chase ones, but apparently I've gotten lost, Shannon, in my stuff. So I'll just pull up one of the credits.
While you're doing that, you mentioned Wilkins Kid a while ago for Chase. Last week it says he had 122 yards off of 10 carries. That's 12 yards a carry.
That's not bad.
That's not bad. That's first down every time he gets the ball. So, I mean, again, Chase has got some weapons. And if they can, I think Cogdell, it's going to be hyped. It's going to be the Cogdell's going to get those boys fired up, and Burns will be fired up. They'll be over there shaking his hand, hugging his neck before the game, because that's their old coach. But, again, I think Burns is going to have too much in the tank for Chase.
The intangibles here, they're playing at Chase.
Playing at Chase, yeah.
Depends on how it's officiated.
Yeah.
If they're strict, ticky-tacky, whatever. And the fact that, Cogdell, like you said, he knows the Burns kids.
Knows every one of them.
Now, the question is, does that motivate them to go show him what they can do, or does he have his ace up his sleeve? He knows what they're going to do.
Yeah, that makes a difference because you know their strengths, but you know their weakness too.
Yeah,
and you're not going to tell them that, but you can exploit that. The silent killer, I guess. So it'll be a great game. I think it's one of the better games tonight.
I like Jim Bob, but Jim Bob can't do this.
Yeah, exactly right.
Time for another break on KTC Broadcast. We'll be back in just a few moments.
Since 1986, Witherspoon Insurance Agency in Shelby has been serving families across Shelby and Cleveland County. And today, Wayne Witherspoon continues the tradition of bringing you the best insurance at the best possible price, with names like the Hartford, Safeco, Progressive, National General, and Travelers. Drop by the office today at 125 North Lafayette Street in Shelby and talk with one of their friendly hometown agents. Witherspoon Insurance Agency, your independent insurance agency since 1986.
This day and time, you need to be concerned about your health, and Hopper Heated and Air in Shelby can help. Talk with them about phenomenal air-cold plasma generator technology. It cleans the air naturally and can eliminate 99% of COVID. Also virus, bacteria, mold, pollen, dust, dander, and odors, including smoke odors. And it's time for your preseason checkup. Book your service online for just $55. Or mention the Facebook page or whatsupshopper.com and get it for just $45. Or visit the website at hopperhvac.com. Hopper Heated and Air in Shelby.
Join us every Sunday at 11 a.m. for our Sunday morning worship services. On WCSL 1590 AM and 92.3 FM, it's the Sunday morning service of First Baptist Church in Cherryville. On WLON 1050 AM and 107.5 FM, it's the Sunday service of the Covenant Bible Church in Lincoln. And on WOHS 1390 AM and 101.5 FM, it's the Sunday service of the Calvary Baptist Church of Shelby. Join us each and every Sunday morning for our Sunday morning worship services on The Boss and Carolina Country.
Tim Johnson here from WLON. Folks, if you are looking to buy a new metal building, let me tell you the place to go. Unrivaled Metal Buildings in Lincoln. With over 20 years' experience, they specialize in metal carports, garages, RV covers, storage sheds, and more. They service over 40 states. They offer bank financing and a credit-free rent-to-own program. All of their units are engineered certified to meet local wind and snow requirements. Commercial sizes are available as well. Address is 2541 East Main Street, Lincoln, or call 844-848-8676. Also, check their website out at unrivaledmetalbuildings.com.
Meet Pueblito Mexican Restaurant, 213 West Warren Street, Shelby, wants to thank Cleveland County residents for their support of small businesses. Offering authentic Mexican cuisine, Meet Pueblito serves the best Mexican food around, and they're proud winner of Cleveland County's 2020 Best of the Best Award. They're open for dine-in or takeout, with temporary hours Monday through Sunday, 11 a.m. till 9 p.m. They're following COVID-19 safety protocols, so you can dine without worry. And the salsa bar is closed, but you can have them bring your favorite salsas to your table. Meet Pueblito Mexican Restaurant. Go to meatpubs.com or Facebook for their menu. Call 704-482-5155. What's up, Doc? It's that time again. Time for that Quasi Rabbit and the bunny with the money. Someone will win $1,000 in-store shopping spree at one of our area local merchants. Register today at one of our many locations, including Abernathy Chevrolet East Main Street in Lincoln, Abernathy Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram on East Main Street in Lincoln, at Jumpin' Jed's on Main Street in Falston, at Caputo's on South Mountain Street in Cherryville, at Donita's on East Main Street in Lincoln, at Hojo Power Sports and Equipment on Grigg Street in Shelby, at Mi Pueblito Mexican Restaurant, West Warren Street in Shelby, at Pink's Auto Sales and Tom's Table on the Dallas-Cherryville Highway, at Victoria Stevens on East Warren Street in Shelby, and at All Care Insurance on Dixon Boulevard in Shelby, and at Gaston Pickers, East Ozark Avenue in Gastonia. The complete list can be seen at whatsupshopper.com. The drawing will be held Friday, April 2nd. See area stores for details. The Bunny with the Money, brought to you by The Boss, Carolina Country, KTC Broadcasting, and the whatsupshopper.com. Now open the all-new BMC Toner Solutions, now open at 410 East Franklin Boulevard in Gastonia. The new BMC Toner Solutions can save you up to 50% off retail on your printer ink cartridges. Extra large inkjets, just $12.99 for black and $14.99 for color. Just call 704-862-7333. They're open 9 to 5 Monday through Thursday, 9 to 2 on Friday, open every third Saturday from 9 to 2. The new BMC Toner Solutions, now open at 410 East Franklin Boulevard in Gastonia.
Welcome back to the broadcast. Shannon giving fantastic scholastic advice on KTC. Kelly, I found the scores. So we've got Kylan Miller up 8. This is Kylan. I'm going to get to some of the highlights for the folks that we was going to show you just a minute. This is Kylan Miller scoring against Cherryville. And this kind of what we're going to do during the show. So when the guys come across and score. Now this Shannon, this may be one of the best plays you'll see of the week. Now, I know, let me try to make it bigger for you. I'm over here being all fancy.
Okay,
I know that a little blurry on this because I've got it extremely stretched out. But right now make that smaller for the people. Wonder if it's because of that. There we go, maybe. But right about now, Shannon, I don't know if you can see, but there's 1, 2, 3 wide receivers for Chase.
Right.
Wide. Yeah. This is the safety at the 35. And he could have threw it to the ref if he wanted to, but they were all there. But it was a reverse flea flicker, so everybody bit, and And then they went. Kyler Miller's the first score of the game, and so after that, it was on for Chase. Cameron Wilkins made it 14-0 on this play. Got hit in the backfield twice, broke 2 tackles, and popped out. So Burns going to have to wrap up. Caden Hampton made it 22-2. Chase on the quarterback keeper there. Caden Hampton again on that one. Here's some of Burns back up to there. Here's Cameron Sweezy's 2-yard touchdown. He kept up the middle, and then so there, Kylan Miller touchdown, pick off, and he broke 2 tackles and then ran it back for scores. It has another fantastic play. So, folks, you can follow along at What's Up Shopper at KTC for the highlights as they go on Twitter if you're out and about. If you want to watch us, we'll be giving the scores updates and some of these as they go as well during the game. This is one of the good ones. Here's Cherville's touchdown. Shannon, watch the running back just run over the corner here.
Oh, that was brutal.
He gave him the shoulder on that one. So, and then last week, Thomas Jefferson's coach Jerry Cash got his 350th win. We talked about that. So, thanks to everybody tuning in. This is the Witherspoon Insurance pregame show. And Dennis, it's Pine Lake Prep at Cherville on WCSL. I think they're about to start their broadcast soon. So let's get into that a little bit. Pine Lake Prep winning big at Bessemer last week. Cherville losing against Chase. If you do the math and just add that up together, maybe looks like another big win maybe for Pine Lake Prep. Hopefully, Coach Tim Pruitt at Cherville and then Bessemer with the numbers down this year. It's hard at 1A to lose people and not have all the numbers there. So it's been really tough for those schools this year, Dennis.
Well, last year Cherville won 34-24, but I'm with you, Kevin. I don't think, based on the information that we have about number of players who will be suiting up tonight, that's going to take place. Pine Lake Prep last week defeated Bessemer City 52-8. Cherville fell to Chase 56-9. The good word about Pine Lake Prep, Shannon, they averaged 7.3 yards per carry en route to 249 rushing yards.
Right.
And against Bessemer City, Cherville defense allowed 405 yards last Thursday against Chase. I'm going to have to go with Pine Lake Prep. I like Coach Pruitt, but I think in this case, Pine Lake Prep is the way I'll go.
Absolutely. You mentioned about the rushing attack. They've had they're led by a guy by the name of Vic Garrido and then Colby Lane. They had right around 200 yards by themselves last week for Pine Lake Prep. I think they're just going to, line it up and say, hey, if you can stop us, because this is how we're going to, because they're just going to run the ball. They didn't throw the ball at all last week, maybe one pass, but Cherville, it's, as Kevin said, it's hard to win when you're limited on who you have. And so it's tough. It's going to be tough for Coach Pruitt. I'm with you. I like him. He's a great guy. Seems like he's a nice family guy. But it's just when you playing somebody like Pine Lake Prep, it's going to be hard. And I'm going to say it's probably going to be around 42 to maybe 7 that Pine Lake Prep will defeat Cherville.
42-7.
42-7.
Well, Shannon, I've got a feeling that since against Bessemer City they put up 52-8.
Yeah,
I'm going to go with that same score for this week.
Yeah,
I'm going to go 52-8, and I hope it doesn't turn out for Cherville that way. But I have a feeling that those cards have already been dealt.
Yeah, you're exactly right. I agree with that.
Be interested to see what Kevin had to pick on that one.
Yeah. Well, let's move on down to next on it'll be on WLON, East Lincoln and Lincolnton. And East Lincoln lost a tough one last week did they win? They
defeated Mountain Island
They won a
Charter
tough one. That's right.
28-27, real stomping.
tough game, or tough matchup there first week. And then Lincolnton, they surprised me by defeating Newton Conover.
Yeah, I think I was a little shocked at that because I think I picked Newton Conover.
Yeah,
but they beat Newton Conover 27-13 last week.
Right. So, but Lincoln, DeAndre Smith, he's a junior for them. I think he's going to be the main horse in the stable again tonight. But against East Lincoln, and Dennis, I'm one of these guys. I look back in history as well as you do.
Yeah.
You're gonna, what traditionally happens in these games. right now, Coach Glass at Lincoln, yeah, he's coming off a big win, but can they, you're going to be playing somebody that's a little bit better than the Newton Conover tonight. East Lincoln's a tough squad, coming off a tough win that they had, and I think they're going to continue rolling it. If I'm not mistaken, that's going to be at Lincoln. So it'll be, the atmosphere will be happy in Lincoln. It'll be exciting, but it's going to be a different game tonight. I think East Lincoln will win this one. I'm going to say, probably like around a 28-14 type score.
Okay. 28-14. Yeah. Reading the history of these two teams, I think East Lincoln would be the most dominant in recent years. However, Coach Glass is building his program. A big win tonight over East Lincoln, I think, would propel Lincolnton into that next level that they want to be at. However, based on the history of this, I'm going to go with the East Lincoln Mustangs. That's not the four-door electric ones either. I'm going to go with East Lincoln tonight, and I'm going to go with a score of 34-7.
I think that's a great score because you're going to see the ball up in the air tonight. Yep. East Lincoln is with Tyler. It's Mizell or Mizell. How do you say his last name? He's just a sophomore, and then but Lincoln's led by Connor Williams, a senior at quarterback. Both of them had over 100 yards passing last week. First game, it's not bad, but I still think East Lincoln's just going to have a stronger. They're going to be a tougher team defensively for Lincoln to overcome.
Kevin, you want to take a pick on that one? Shannon's score was 28-14.
28-14. Who?
East.
Oh, it's hard to, pick, if how good is Mountain Island Charter? Like, normally if East Lincoln wins by 1, it's Mountain Island Charter, that's not good for East. And normally if Lincoln wins 27-13, that's good for Lincoln. So it's going to be a close game, or is this going to be a blowout? Like, Dennis got 34-7. I think Shannon's kind of feeling like I am. It's hard to put 34-7, but it might be. And we got to see from there. So I'm going to split you guys in the middle and go 31-10. How about that?
East Lincoln.
East Lincoln, yeah.
31-10. Okay. Well, tune in next week and we'll see.
See if one of you's high, one of you's low, and I might be perfect. We'll see if that happens.
There you go.
So what did you guys have on the Cherryville Pine Lake again?
Okay, on the Pine Lake, we both took Pine Lake Prep. I had them same score as last week, 52-8. Shannon had them 42-7. What do you want?
I think Cherryville will score more than Bessemer did. Bessemer got what? 1 touchdown on? I think Cherryville will get 2.
It was 52-8.
So 14. I'm gonna take another touchdown off of them. Let's go 40-14.
Okay.
Pine Lake Prep for Kevin. I hope you guys prove me wrong too. Go Ironman. East Rutherford at Polk County tonight. The Cavaliers.
Coach Ollis.
Cavaliers go up to the home of the Wolverines, and that is not who I was looking up. The Chase Cats of Kansas City, and the cat.
They're solid.
I would have pulled it. Have you seen that?
It's a solid squad. No, I haven't. I was just kidding.
You ought to see the cat. It's like an old Mickey Mouse cat from like the 30s. Like I couldn't make that up. Like they seriously just, I don't even know Chase, Kansas. But anyway, East Rutherford Polk County be on Waggy tonight, 107.5 FM up in Rutherford County, 1320 AM. Paul Foster will have that, along with Jonathan Bland and Tanner Halbert will be doing the tweeting. Shannon, what we got here on East Rutherford hosting at Polk County tonight?
Well, last week in the battle there in Rutherford County, East Rutherford took one on the chin against RS Central, and I know that. I mean, when you get beat that bad, it leaves a bad taste in your mouth, and it's especially when it's against a county rival the way it was. So going down to Polk County, this is like maybe like Lincoln coming down to Cleveland County, or maybe Gaston County coming to Cleveland County. The counties right beside each other. The kids fairly know each other. Polk County coming off a defeat last week against Hendersonville. It was a close game, I think 35-27 or something like that. But I think Polk County is a better team. I mean, East Rutherford's got, I think, Marquise. I can't remember his name. His first name is Marquise. I think he's their quarterback. But, they ran into a buzzsaw last week against RS, and I don't know if it was because RS was that good or East Rutherford maybe just playing that bad.
Or a combination.
Combination of both, yeah. So, I think East will have a better showing tonight, but I think going down to Polk County, it'll just be too hard on them. And I think Polk will win this one. I'm going to say 35-14. I think that'll be the score. As you
Last
said,
year was 35-19.
35-19. There you go.
So what'd you say?
35-14. Again, Coach Ollis. Coach Ollis he's a great student of the game. He's a great man. He's a fantastic coach, and he's got he surrounds himself with good people that know what they're doing. And East Rutherford's building that now.
They were 9-4 last year. Won 42-0 against RS Central.
Yeah.
That tells you anything. Lost in the playoffs to Mitchell though, 28-0. Did win a playoff game.
Yeah.
41-21 against East Wilkes. So, Dennis, what you got?
I'm going to go like Shannon said. I think Coach Ollis has got the upper hand right now. I think after last week, he's regrouped. He's got a better plan. I think he's probably going to put 28 on East Rutherford mercifully. He's not going to run them in the ground, but I think it's going to be like 28-7.
27 for Dennis. I've got 42-20.
East Rutherford just couldn't get it going last week. I think only had about 100 yards of offense total.
Yeah.
So it's hard to, granted, it's week one. You got a new coach, a new system, a lot of variables there, but it's week one for everybody. So I think, I think it'll be better this week, but it's, going to Polk County, that's a tough matchup for them.
All right, Dennis, Shannon, go ahead and go through tonight's schedule again. I'm talking all the games tonight so everybody knows who's playing who tonight. And we're going to get prepared to get to another break in just a few minutes. We'll come back and actually talk the rest of the games Dennis is going to mention here and more on KTC. I got to go check a couple things as well. So go ahead, Dennis.
Well, at 6 p.m., which is just a couple of minutes away, we'll have the pregame kickoff for Pine Lake Prep and the charitable Ironman we were talking about. Followed at 6:30 by the pregame. You said Brent Pasco was in earlier. We chatted with him. Shannon, Burns Bulldogs and Chase Trojans, which is our featured WHS game of the night. Some of those others, East Rutherford Cavaliers and Polk County, we were just talking about Paul Foster and Jonathan Bland, Tanner Halbert. That's going to be taking off at the same time, 6:30, 7 p.m. kickoff. East Lincoln Mustangs, Lincoln and Wolves. You've got Matt Chapman, Logan Baker is on Twitter there. It's going to be interesting. At 7 to 9, we've got the what we call the red zone. We'll be featuring some highlights of that. And then, of course, at 9:30, when most of the games start to be over, you can tune in here for the Full Throttle Power Sports post-game show. That'll be me along with Will Boykins and some guests. Kevin will be here, of course. Shannon will be off doing something else at that time. I don't know, studying for an exam or something. Possibly.
Actually, a midterm. I got to finish a midterm.
Shannon, looking at some of these games over here on the boards, the last two boards over there, the first game I really want to get your thoughts about because I know that you're a Shelby knowledgeable guy.
Yeah.
RS did well last week. Give me your thoughts on Shelby and RS.
Well, both of them. They both had great games last week. Shelby playing there in the rain on Friday. What they're going to bring to the table tonight is going to be a rushing attack. They are led by I think his name's Ken Hines III. A big name up in Rutherford County or Spindale, and part of that lineage there. But RS is going to run the football, and that's going to play right into the strength of Shelby's defense. Shelby's defensive line is one of the better ones around, and along with a couple other schools, probably some of the better defensive lines in the state, right here in our backyard. But Shelby's going to go up there, and they're just going to do what they do and just going to score points. It's going to be hard especially if RS tries to play if they try to match them point for point. You've got to, but if Shelby jumps on the board quick and RS fails to do anything and Shelby gets another score, if they get up by 2 touchdowns, it's going to be tough for RS to battle back, especially because of the speed and strength Shelby has.
I'd say speed kills, and if RS allows Shelby's speed to get out of the box tonight, it will kill them. RS, from a coaching standpoint, needs to control the ball.
Yeah.
That means keep it on the ground.
Yeah.
Let the clock work. Shelby can't score when they're over on the sideline over there. Well, they can defensively,
right.
But what I'm saying is control the tempo, control the ball, grind. And
right.
with the Hines kid, whose dad used to be the basketball coach up there, they can afford to do that and still be in the game.
Right.
If they don't, then the game's over.
Yeah, it is. And again, it's, if as long as they can keep Shelby's offense off the field, but then it's Shelby's their better unit physically going to be their defense. And so
you did have to bring that up,
so,
you?
that you're like robbing Peter to pay Paul. Which one do you want to do? But Shelby, now their offense, you got Gabe Hewitt at quarterback, who had a great game last week. Plus you have those running backs. They've got 3 running backs that are dynamic, led by the kid Omar, I can't think of his last name, Omar Porter. He's a coach at Crest. Omar Phillips, yeah. So, and he'll start with a P. But you've got,
close enough.
Yeah, you've got these 3 guys at running back, plus you got these receivers Shelby has, and you've got your basketball players now back for a week of practice.
Yeah.
And so that right there, now they're going to start gelling, getting continuity, and I think that's going to – it's games like this that this is going to help them out a lot. And so, but yeah, when you're talking about RS trying to play clock management, run the 4 corners, if you will, it's going to be tough because you're playing right into – that's what I said, you're playing right into the strength of Shelby's defense.
Well, that's what I was going to be. Of course, the good news for RS is that Hollifield's up at Virginia Tech, practicing for spring ball.
Right.
But if you had to think about which of these teams is probably better suited to carry out the game plan we said to beat Shelby, it's Shelby.
Yeah.
Because Gabe can manage the game.
Oh, yeah.
He can feed it. He's got 4 running backs.
Yeah.
They can break it at any time. He's got good linemen.
Yeah.
He's got a good defense. They can hold RS down. So I think the bottom line is we're going to see the real RS Central show up this week.
Yeah, I'm afraid so. Yeah, and you mentioned about Hollifield being gone, but Shelby still has Malachi Hamrick, one of the top defensive linemen, outside linebacker, and future Tar Heel. Congratulations to him.
Yeah,
but you still got him there, and just a junior, and you got Santana Hopper there on the line too. So, and some more. There's more to those guys, but that's they still got those guys there.
Well, I just got the magic signal from the boss man. We'll be right back after a word from our sponsors.
WHS Shelby, WLON, Lincoln.
Since 1986, Witherspoon Insurance Agency in Shelby has been serving families across Shelby and Cleveland County. And today, Wayne Witherspoon continues the tradition of bringing you the best insurance at the best possible price. With names like The Hartford, Safeco, Progressive, National General, and Travelers. Drop by the office today at 125 North Lafayette Street in Shelby and talk with one of their friendly hometown agents. Witherspoon Insurance Agency, your independent insurance agency since 1986.
Aspen Street Grill in Lincoln has a brand new complex, and it is located right beside the old location. With 10 years in business and the best food in town, it's American and Mexican menu, freshly made to order. They have poor boys, poor girls, double bacon cheeseburgers, hot dogs, chicken fajitas, steak fajitas, soft tacos, and hard shells as well. 2511 North Aspen Street in Lincoln. For takeout orders, call at 704-735-8800. For the best food in town, stop in at Aspen Street Grill.
This day and time, you need to be concerned about your health, and Hopper Heated and Air in Shelby can help. Talk with them about phenomenal air-cold plasma generator technology. It cleans the air naturally and can eliminate 99% of COVID. Also virus, bacteria, mold, pollen, dust, dander, and odors, including smoke odors. And it's time for your preseason checkup. Book your service online for just $55. Or mention the Facebook page or WhatsAppShopper.com and get it for just $45. Or visit the website at HopperHVAC.com. Hopper Heated and Air in Shelby. Celebrating lives and healing grieving hearts. That's the theme of the Stamey Tysinger Funeral Home and Cremation Center in Falston and the Stamey Cherryville Funeral Home on Dixie Street in Cherryville. Their staff is committed to providing your family with the highest quality care and service in your time of need. For more information, visit the websites at StameyTysingerFuneralHome.com and StameyCherryvilleFuneralHome.com, both giving you the gift of comfort for you and your family.
There's a lot of talk about heroes these days.
Hey buddy, you wanna go fishing?
The folks in the funny outfits with superpowers and spandex.
All right, buddy, let me help you.
But at Ingalls, we know that a lot of our heroes
Now you look like a pro.
are a little closer to home. They're the ones who give us what we need for those everyday adventures. That's why we look up to the ones who look out for us.
Don't forget your fish food. Catch a big one.
Ingalls,
See you later, Dad.
all
Bye.
the ingredients for family.
Full Throttle Power Sports in Gastonia has just gotten a whole lot bigger, and we mean a whole lot bigger. They have just purchased MS Power Sports in Gastonia and are now your dealer for Honda, Suzuki, and Kawasaki, along with CF Moto, Yamaha, and Polaris. Golf carts too. One big dealer under one big roof, plus a complete parts and service department. That's Full Throttle Power Sports, 101 Indian Walk of I-85 in Lowell. Online at ncfullthrottle.com and see their page at whatsupshopper.com.
And we're back. We've got some more games besides the ones we talked about that'll be on the radio tonight. These games will not be heard, but they'll be covered in the highlights in the red zone. And, of course, we'll be talking about them, Shannon, on the post-game show. Let's start, Shannon, if you'll take the Shelby RS Central game and give us your thoughts on that.
I think Shelby will I think they'll win this game. I'm going to say 49-7.
49-7. That's a very interesting score, 49-7. But I think you're right.
Yeah.
I think that while RS came back last week and had a good game, Shelby is too good and too talented on both sides of the ball.
They are. Yeah, they are.
And the way that you beat Shelby is to run the ball and be patient and grind it out. But on the other hand, that's exactly what Shelby can do. Shelby's built to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Only they have speed. They've got four backs that can break it at any time. They've got receivers that can go for the long ball.
Right.
And their defense can intercept or pick off a pass or whatever that you've got. So I'm going to go with Shelby tonight on that particular game. And you had 49-7?
Yes.
I'm going to go with 52-10.
Okay. 52-10. All right, next game will be South Point traveling Mount Holly taking on East Gaston. Again, this is a game. This is a big game for both schools, and both of them lost last week. South Point in a close one against Burns, and East Gaston took it on the chin against Shelby. So I think again, I said this is an interesting game, but I think South Point does go down there to take the victory. But I think it'll be closer than what people think. I'm going to say South Point. I'm going to say South Point 35, East Gaston 21.
35.
21.
21.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and South Point on that one. After the way that South Point went for two and lost last week, I know they've got a chip on their shoulders.
Yeah. Oh.
And I think that while East Gaston has improved, they're a Gaston County rival. They're the nemesis of South Point in Gaston County right now, because if there was something to happen to the South Point school, some of those kids would be going to East Gaston or, Stuart Kramer. So they're saying, no, we're South Point. We're South Point born. We're South Point bred. And when we're gone, we'll be South Point dead. But we're not going to die against East Gaston this week. We're going to run it up. We're going to go 46-7.
46-7.
Yeah.
Okay. That's probably a lot closer than mine. But so anyway, so next game will be Saturday game down at Stuart Cramer High School, but it won't be Stuart Cramer. It'll be Ashbrook taking on Forest View. Now, Dennis, Forest View has a guy that playing court. He was a running back last year named Jamarian Dawkins, and he was their stud last year. They've moved him to quarterback this year.
Yeah.
And again, going to Fayetteville State and Forest View. Crest handled them last week. And so I think Forest View, again, one of these games where they can bounce back is going to be tonight against Ashbrook, and because I just don't think Ashbrook has all the pieces in place right now, and be tomorrow. But I think Forest View will. I think Dawkins will put on his clinic down there tomorrow against Ashbrook. I'm gonna say this one will be. I'm gonna give them. I'm gonna say 42-14. Forest View will defeat Ashbrook.
Well, after watching them last week, there was some talk that they might move that guy from quarterback to running back.
Yeah.
Because he runs so well.
Right.
And he's a load.
He is.
He's a load. But I also saw him throw the ball down the field, probably 30, 35 yards.
Yeah.
And just Crest wasn't looking for it.
Right.
And so they got a cheap score that way, some other things. I'm thinking against Ashbrook that I agree with you that Forest View is going to win this game. But I'm thinking it will probably be a little more like 34-12.
34-12.
Yeah, and that's we'll just go with that.
Okay. Again, that game's tomorrow at Stuart Cramer at 2:00.
And speaking of odd times, we got a Tuesday game.
So let's jump to the Tuesday game. Kings Mountain and North Gaston. Coach Lloyd at Kings Mountain, he just after the heartbreak they had last year against Catholic, a lot of those guys are back. They're missing a couple. One is actually down at Chapel Hill, but it's Kings Mountain is still the same team they were last year, and I think they're better. I think because now, as we mentioned about Burns and Keywan prior, now Kings Mountain don't have pace hour to other people now are going to take control, and now they can step up and say, hey, we've been here all along, and so I think Kings Mountain, they're still led by Ethan Reed at quarterback. They have a great offensive line. We mentioned Perry Davis' son Blake. He's a load.
He's a load.
He is a load on the line. I think Kings Mountain, if they can get a Friday game, they'll be good to go. But they're gonna North Gaston. Coach Harris, he just doesn't. They're building. They're obviously building a foundation or trying to get that tradition back they had years ago. But I just don't think it's not going to start Tuesday. Kings Mountain's just too much for them. Kings Mountain, I think, wins this one. I'm going to say 56-0, but I'll say 56-6.
56-6.
Yeah. Kings Mountain's another one of those teams around here that's dynamic.
Well, I think that Coach Lloyd has been known from time to time to let the dogs out.
Yeah.
And this is the kind of game that he will let the dogs out.
Let them out and hunt.
They're wanting to build early season recognition.
Yeah.
We looked a while ago at their rankings at NC Preps. They're ranked 6. Crest is 7. He's wanting to establish some street cred, if you will, with the pollsters. And I look for him to let it rip.
Yeah.
I'm going to put him down 62-7.
62-7. All right, good deal. All right, so let's jump back, staying with in the Big South Crest, traveling down to Stuart Cramer down there on the turf. And Dennis, we were talking about this, off the air, and I just think Crest is one of these teams that they have a great running back in TJ Ruff. They have the Fuller kid at quarterback, but now they have. Forget about what you did last week because they played, a tough game against Forest View, but now they've got their starters, their real starters back from basketball. You got Eli Hall back now on the defensive front. They've had a week of practice. Crest is going to be one of these teams now that's going to say, okay, now the continuity is going to begin.
Don't forget Borders on offense.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
I don't know, is Merritt playing football?
I don't know if Merritt does. Maury Adams does, the Big South Player of the Year in basketball. He plays
just
football.
added about 2 notches of speed right there.
Absolutely. That's a dangerous weapon to have in high school football if you have size, but you can counter that with speed. And we know that. I mean, it's traditionally that's what happens in these areas. And it's just with Crest having these guys back now, full football players, congratulations on basketball, but now they've got their football team complete. And as they move forward, you're going to see Crest start getting better and better. And I think down at Kramer, I think T.J. Ruff's going to put on a clinic. I think Eli Hall, excited to be back his first game now. I mean, he did, I don't even think he did the scrimmage against Shelby.
He's going to rack them and sack them.
I think he will, and Colin Surratt on the front line, he's anchored that. Then you got their defense, Beeson at linebacker and Wesson at linebacker. These guys, they don't look intimidating. When you look at them, you're like, oh, they're not, they're not these big burly linebackers.
They will hit
you. Oh gosh, they'll take you lunch money and just leave you standing there wondering what happened. So I think these two guys, but Crest is the complete package this year. Crest and Kings Mountain in the Big South are going to be that's going to be the showdown at the end of this season. And but Crest at Kramer, I think wins easily. I'm going to say 49. I don't think Kramer's not bad.
No.
I think Crest just is that much better. I'm going to say 49-14 Crest.
49-14 Crest. Well, the difference in Crest is in some schools, they go by that old philosophy like Governor Cuomo needs to practice. Be good to people on the way up because you might meet them on the way down.
Exactly.
So they're not going to run the scores up on a lot of folks.
Yeah.
They're going to put up enough numbers that they're doing good. I'm going to say it's going to be more like 42. And as you put, they're playing down at Kramer. I'm going to give Kramer 12.
42-12.
42-12.
All right, so that ends up, that's the Big South there. And now we're going to move to the, I guess we're going to still go without taking a break. We're going to move to West Lincoln and Maiden here in the South Fork 2A. And West Lincoln, coming off a loss last week, they got beat 10-6 against, that was North Lincoln they played, wasn't it, last week? Didn't they play North Lincoln?
I believe so.
I think it was. And so, when we even said, no offense to Terry Reinhardt, West Lincoln lost everybody. They're in a rebuilding, and this is going to be a lump. And then, but to face North Lincoln, and North Lincoln North Lincoln lost a lot too, but to play them to a 10-6 game, I think that builds a little bit of character on your team.
Yeah.
And, having to play Maiden, who is arguably probably the best team in that conference. And Maiden won last week over Bandy's 21-7. So West Lincoln going to Maiden, it's going to be tough, I think, I think West Lincoln will give them a game. I think it'll be a great game. But I just think they're going to be too much for I think Mason Hewitt at quarterback for West. I think he's just, they're not going to pass the ball much. I think they're just going to leave it on the ground. But I think Maiden's going to be too hard for them to handle, and Maiden's going to run the ball too. And I'm trying to think the kid's name that Maiden had he's actually transferred from Bandy's last week, if I can remember his name. But anyway, that doesn't matter. But Grayson Barkley at West Lincoln, he had a big game last week, 74 yards in the loss against North Lincoln. When you face a Basel team like that and you do well, even though in the loss you gain some confidence. And so, but I think it'll be tough. I think Maiden wins this one. I'm gonna say 28-14.
28-14.
Yeah.
Okay, and I've got Maiden winning this one also. I've got it 21-10.
Okay.
In my respect to Terry Reinhardt.
Yeah,
but he ain't playing.
That's right. So, Dennis, let's just keep going to the bottom. Let's stay in this South Fork Conference. Let's go down to the bottom, North Lincoln and West Meck. Again, this is a game that was just added. I know West Meck lost last week to Providence. I want to say it was 33-0. Maybe some, I don't really know much about them. I just know they got beat that bad in that game. North Lincoln coming off that win, as I just mentioned a while ago, against West Lincoln. When you have Coach Basil, he can put together game plans better than anybody, and he's a great fundamental coach. He's one of those old. He's like a Ron Green, just fundamental coach. And about tackling, form tackling, all this stuff. So, but North Lincoln, I think they'll handle West Meck pretty easily. Again, don't know much about West Meck. I'm gonna say probably 35. I'm gonna say 35-0. I think West Meck remains scoreless yet once again.
Okay. Well, I don't really know a lot about West Meck this year.
Yeah.
I know that there's been some things going on over in Charlotte, Mecklenburg with some of these schools, coaches resigning before the first game and this, that, and the other. Yeah. West Meck is trying to rebuild, as a matter of fact, their whole school. New building, new attitude, new this, that, and the other. Some folks, the Panthers had donated some gear and this, that, and the other. They still haven't come back to the old West Meck that used to come in to Crest and just wreck the place, if you would. I'm going to have to say that North Lincoln is a quality program, and I see that going 28-7 in favor of North Lincoln.
North Lincoln, okay. Again, you mentioned that about West Meck. I hope people realize just how fortunate we are in our area of what we do have when it comes to high school sports, high school facilities. It could be a lot worse, and all you have to do is go to Charlotte to figure that out.
Yeah, there's some, not all the poverty is up in the hills.
Yeah, you're right.
And I know that the Garinger coach just walked in the day before the game and said, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
And I don't know what that's based on, if it's the school, if it's the players, if it's the equipment or this, that, and the other. We've seen that happen several times this year, Shannon. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if it's the people get disheartened or there's so much pressure from the parents and others on these people to perform right now.
Yeah.
Well, the boss man says we got to take a break and pay some bills. So take it away, Calvin.
1986, Witherspoon Insurance Agency in Shelby has been serving families across Shelby and Cleveland County. And today, Wayne Witherspoon continues the tradition of bringing you the best insurance at the best possible price. With names like The Hartford, Safeco, Progressive, National General, and Travelers. Drop by the office today at 125 North Lafayette Street in Shelby and talk with one of their friendly hometown agents. Witherspoon Insurance Agency, your independent insurance agency since 1986.
Yes, 2020 was quite a year, and we all hope 2021 will be much better. And Bill Shuford Heating and Air in Shelby wants to help. They carry the iWave Air Purifiers. The iWave Air Purifier can rid almost all SARS, COVID-19 allergens. And when run for 30 minutes, it can eliminate 99.4% of the virus. Find out more by calling Bill Shuford Heating and Air at 704-484-0025. Be safe and stay warm and cozy. That's Bill Shuford Heating and Air. 213 Campbell Street in Shelby. Online at BillShufordHVAC.com. See their page at WhatsAppShopper.com and like them on Facebook too. Check out the $1 section at the Falston Pharmacy and Medical Center Pharmacy in Cherryville. There are many brand new items at the Falston Pharmacy location. And don't forget, at both locations, you can use their convenient drive-through window. You can even get your over-the-counter items through the drive-through. And they have vitamins including C and D and zinc to help fight off the virus. And remember, the grill is open at the Medical Center Pharmacy in Cherryville. Get your flu shots too at the Falston Pharmacy, Highway 18 North in Falston, and Medical Center Pharmacy, East Academy Street in Cherryville.
Purchasing a tractor is a big decision. Worrying about keeping it running shouldn't be. James River delivers peace of mind with an industry-leading 10-year warranty. Available with the purchase of any new John Deere 1 through 5 Series tractor with absolutely no buy-in cost required. Visit jamesriverequipment.com/10-year warranty. Valid with purchase of new John Deere 1 through 5 Series tractor. Some restrictions may apply. See dealer for details. James River delivers affordable quality and a 10-year warranty.
You know spring will be here before you turn around. Spring means yard work, and yard work means a stop at Tri-City Tire in Forest City. Sure, you'll find tires, but you'll also find all you need for your lawn and garden, like the big new Spartan mowers, plus Red Max blowers, trimmers, sprayers, and chainsaws, along with lawn and garden fertilizer, lime and grass seed, plus gravel, rock and sand, and mulch too. That's Tri-City Tire, 221 Daniel Road in Forest City. Like them on Facebook too.
All right, we're back, and we have a special guest this is the guy you don't normally get to see, Shannon.
He's a ninja.
He's the ninja of the board who's coordinating all the stuff that's going on at night. JP, as Kevin instructed when he left, just sit there and look pretty, but we want to hear you talk a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know that's the greatest thing in the world, to be honest. I'm the one person at this radio station who knows absolutely nothing about sports.
You fit in.
But you got the pretty down.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
We don't either. We fake it, so you're good.
I even have to fake the pretty.
Hey, yeah.
All right. Tell me, on a busy night like this, what's it like juggling the board, various other things? One thing that's I want to explain to people, it's not you personally. If they call in and want to come on the air, we're doing a different format this year, so we're not really taking calls.
Yeah.
We're taking calls from the people who are at the games so that we can cover more games. So tell them not to be mad at JP, because JP is just doing what the boss man told him to do. So we got you covered on that, JP.
Yeah.
Any other suggestions that you want to throw out there for people listening?
No, I really can't say much of anything.
All right. Well, then I'll swing back over to Shannon.
Man, a few words.
Very few words. That's why this is rare, folks. This is rare. To not only hear him, but to see him is even rarer.
Well, they usually see me on Saturday mornings. I mean,
okay.
And hear me too. So,
well, Union. What is that?
Union Academy.
Union Academy and Bessemer City. Shannon.
Union Academy. They lost last week against Christ the King, 24-20. Bessemer City was defeated pretty easily by Pine Lake Prep, 52-8. So I think that, again, with COVID issues and then everything going on, a lot of kids didn't come out for Bessemer. So Bessemer's playing, I think they had 16 players. I think that's how many they've got. It may be a few more, but it should not be a hard night for Union Academy. I'm going to say Union Academy 56, Bessemer City 0.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to have to concur with you as far as the victor.
Right.
I don't know if the Union Academy folks will have a little mercy or not. And in defense of Bessemer City, they're not the Bessemer City maybe they've been. They're shorthanded on the roster.
Right.
Kevin has gone through that. But I think you're going to see a score tonight of something like 42-14.
Yeah.
And that will be Union Academy.
Yeah, they shouldn't have any problem. No.
Yeah, shouldn't have any. JP, you want to give a possible score?
this is one reason I really don't like working here. Y'all always make me pick a score, but I mean, I really don't care. But who is it again?
Union Academy and Bessemer City. You don't have a dog in the fight. Pick who you want to.
Bessemer City.
There you go.
Oh, he's going with Bessemer City.
14-0.
Bessemer City.
That's what I'm talking about. Landing on the line.
There you go. You heard it here first, folks.
That's it. That's it.
Although, to be honest, I'll probably be the closest one. That's usually what happens. I mean, look at the Super Bowl.
If you are close, there'll be a lot of happy people in Bessemer City tonight.
Yeah.
That'll be a
the Yellow Jackets will be swarming later.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Well, folks, it's about the time for our pregame show to end and give you the real thing. And we've got some good games tonight. For example, here on WHS, we've got Burns at Chase. And we've got, let's see, what else we got here tonight. We got Burns at Chase. Speaking of that Pine Lake Prep and Cherryville game, they'll be coming on right here. East Rutherford Cavaliers, no.
East Rutherford will be on it'll be on WAGY.
WAGY, right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Calvin, take it away.
All right, thank you there. And you've been listening to the Witherspoon Insurance Agency pregame show. And now we're going to go to the stadium for the stadium pregame show. And first of all, on WHS, we've got Shelby and RS Central, and East Lincoln and Lincoln. That'll be coming up shortly, but we'll start off with the pregame show here at Shelby and RS Central coming up. All right, high school football right here on The Boss.